Hey everyone, welcome to episode 2 of Pokemon GO Adventures with me, Ellie. Probably going to keep this to maybe one episode a week since it's kind of difficult to meet a whole lot of people and there's not a lot of content available. So let's kick it off. Since the last episode, I met a couple of guys at the dance studio where I practice. Basically, I was going to go help out. They had a class on earlier on than I showed up to, and I was just having a casual conversation with these guys, just talking about Pokemon Go, etc. The guys, aliases T Reapy and Skimmy. These guys pretty cool. Like, we're chilled out, all talking about it, having a great time. Then, unfortunately, it started raining that night, so I didn't get to do what I was hoping to do, and ended up walking around a bit and ran into a couple and just started chatting to them, and we started hopping around trying to catch a few Pokemon, etc. around the area, and just had a cool conversation. The couple were using the same alias, Rainy Man. So yeah, that was pretty cool that night. Next day, ended up sort of hovering around the city, and ran into quite a few interesting people talking about Pokemon Go, etc. Met people like just walking around getting it stuff. These people were sort of like having fun. I was mentoring a young guy, and we went over to the park. I had a bit of a chat to some of the kids well, there who were playing it as well. I ran into some people. They made the comment that I've got the excuse because kids are playing it. I actually led my game to the young guy I work with, and he's having a blast. He's trying to catch them left, right, and centre, swiping all the stops, etc. Later that evening, I ended up chatting with quite a lot of the other dancers at the studio, and I mean, I'm really, really surprised at the number of dancers that like people at the dance studio that I'm with, like how many of them are into the game. Like it's just there's so many of us into the game. Unfortunately, they're not in the same team, which is, we won't make comments about that. So up to Friday. Friday didn't really amount to much. I didn't really go out and do much Pokemon Go. So move on to Saturday. Saturday, I actually slept in and had a few chores to do, so I missed the Pokemon walk. But I went out a bit later in the afternoon and wandered around to the local university and ran into a Malaysian couple that were sitting down near one of the lures, and I actually got talking to them. Apparently, they were there because there was a cultural thing going on. So not much happened on Saturday. So fast forward to Sunday. So Sunday again, not much happened, but I celebrating a friend's birthday, and then one of the people I was taking home, we sort of decided to go do some Pokemon hunting in the middle of town. We came across two lures, and so we set up shop at the two lures and dropped the Pokemon lure at another Pokestop that was right there as well. And then when we showed up, I think there were two cars of about 2 to 3 people each. So all in all, there was probably about 7 people sitting around when we showed up. And then when we dropped the lure, someone else, we had another 3 cars show up. And then the fourth lure was dropped, and suddenly I think we had about 8 cars. So I think we had about 20 plus people show up to these 4 lures. Like, not all of them were in the cars, but of course. So that was quite spectacular, and definitely had a bit of a natter to them. Found about some good locations for catching a few rare Pokemon, especially EVs. So that wraps up the week. I'm going to try and aim for Mondays on these. Quick wrap up of some of the news. So most of my news will be coming from GameRant.com. I'll get rid of all the negative news out of the way and clickbait because I don't want to. Sorry, I just have a thing against all that. So there was a 15-year-old girl who was hit by a car. Her mum's playing Pokemon Go. Seriously, like, apparently the girl had actually finished playing Pokemon Go and still got hit by the car. So all in all, I'd rather she be playing Pokemon Go and being injured from the car than sitting around at home and being a further tax burden on the health system. Sorry, but I'm going to be very cold-hearted in that regard. On that you know, at least if she's hit by a car, chances are that she's more likely to recover and be less of a burden later on than sitting around and getting OB. Apparently, in Egypt, they've just declared that Pokemon Go is un-Islamic. This is no surprise. Let's face it. Pokemon has been banned in Egypt because it's supernatural. To be honest, like I'm not even going to comment on the. This is just nothing new. We had the Christians back in the 90s hark on about how this was satanic. I'm just going to move on. Like, seriously, this is just depressing, you guys, with this freaking clickbait nonsense. Congratulations to the New Zealander who has decided that he is going to who quit his job and decided to tour around the country catching Pokemon. Maybe we'll catch you round and good luck on your journeys. I think that's a cool thing to go do. I mean, yeah. Okay, hang on. We're just gonna bring up craziest Pokemon Go stories of the week on GameRank.com. I will put the link in below. So yeah, people have found dead bodies and helped solve crimes that's been going around. So people are finding themselves being fired or losing jobs because of the augmented reality. Yes, people, please do not use your augmented reality when you are getting changed in the freaking changing rooms or in the bathrooms, you imbeciles. Sorry. Moving on. I don't want to even bother with this clickbait because it's just a guy catches a Pidgey while his wife's having a C-section delivery. Again, whoop-de-doo clickbait. People have found dead bodies. Person was caught cheating on his current girlfriend. Pokemon player Go. Oh man, this is just like I'm looking at these and I'm just going, really? There's the comment about the armed robberies. It's like, seriously, parents, if you want to make sure that your kids are safe, please go play Pokemon Go with them. Stampede of players because of a wild Vaporeon. I was just like scanning through these and just going, oh, forget it. It's just. I'll forward you guys the link and let you figure out what's worth you looking at yourself. Pokemon player arrested visiting police station. Not even worth me going into that. That's just clickbait. Yeah, someone decided DDoS the Pokemon Go service. Again, it's fracky people. It's almost gone worldwide, which is pretty spectacular. Can win $5,000 for finding rare Pokemon. Yeah, Ripley's Believe It or Not announces a contest in which Pokemon Go players can compete to win $100 daily prizes and a $5,000 grand prize for their Pokemon catches. So Ripley's Believe It or Not has determined what are considered rare, special, epic, and legendary. It's unofficial. The variety problems with Ripley's base their contents of unofficial ranking index. Many of I get the rarity is based on player location, which I would support. I actually have seen a few of these so-called very rare Pokemon, and a friend of mine has actually caught Venusaur, which is regarded as epic. The legendary Pokemon, as far as I know, they're not actually available yet. I don't think there's any confirmation that they're available. I mean, very rare. I have seen a Victory Bell running around. I have seen Venomoth. I'm actually sort of looking at this and going, yeah, because there's some Pokemon that haven't cropped up yet that, or not on the list. I'll put the link in the description below. It sounds like a lot of people don't actually understand how it works. I don't think the rarity is quite correct, because considering that you can evolve most of those Pokemon, it's catching them, and let's face it, evolving them, you're probably going to end up with a better one. But I'll put the link in the description below. Good news for Eevee trainers. So there's a rumor that you can control how Eevee will evolve. This is actually being leaked out in a bit more. So Game Rant has confirmed that they think this is 100% accurate. I've had a few people confirm it. Some people say that it isn't, though I'm skeptical. So this is a Easter egg or cameo appearance of the 90s cartoons, where if you watch the episodes from the original series, the battling Eevee brothers. The Eevee brothers are, I think, Sparky, Rainer, and Pyro, and each has a Eevee evolution, and they're trying to convince their little brother Mikey to decide which Eevee to evolution to evolve his Eevee to. So the reference is the so if you name an Eevee Sparky, it will evolve into Jolteon. If you name it Rainer, it will evolve into Vaporeon. If you name it Pyro, it will evolve into Flareon. I have yet to confirm this myself, but I will try and find out and see if it actually works for me. Of course, Eevees are pretty tough to find, so it's might be a couple of weeks before I successfully test that one out. I've had someone say that they were concerned it might be patched out. This is too specific to be a glitch in the game, or like players are going like they're going to be scared players will abuse it. This is something I think Niantic has well aware of. They want to do something that's a bit of a throwback to the original Pokemon, and so they've gone and done that. I reckon it's an awesome Easter egg. It's pretty cool. I'm going back and watching all of the old Pokemon series with a lot of these sort of like Easter eggs in it, so maybe other people will as well. Pokemon Go is being used by an animal shelter to find dog walkers. That is actually something I'm kind of, in a way, it's kind of a little bit sad that this is resulting in that they've had to bring out this game to push people to go rescue dogs. In saying that, I guess every cloud has a silver lining. This is what I'm looking at with like a lot of this stuff is, everyone's coming back, and this is why I'm getting pissed off all these negative attitudes coming out. It's like, seriously, go look at the number of people that are enjoying this. I mean, people are getting out and walking around and stuff. It's just insane. You can go talk to Niantic about, or Pokemon Company, I'm not too sure quite who, about getting a Pokestop, put it a specific location, or gym put it a specific location. Who knows, I might actually look at that at a later stage. That's pretty cool. I don't know if it's going to be much use to many people. I'm going to encourage restaurants, cafes, go do it, put a Pokestop or a gym, and you know, might actually convince people to come along. Pokemon Go passes Candy Crush as the biggest game. This I think is incredible. So what is it? Yeah, almost 25 million users with already. Well, this is in the US only, but I think this is a case of Pokemon Go is essentially, to me, the first core game to enter the mobile market. Yeah, there's been plenty of people trying to push core games into a mobile market and have met with very, very little success. And the problem is you have an issue that the mobile market, if you want to play games on a mobile device, well, actually Nintendo DS or your PS Vita is much better because it is designed for gamers in mind. And the other is the screen's too small. There's a reason why if you look at a lot of the successful games on the Nintendo DS, they tend to be turn-based RPGs or very, very simple games, side-scrolling platformers. I mean, yeah, Smash Bros came to the DS, but which is easier to play on? Nintendo Wii U or your Nintendo DS? I mean, this is the issue that I think mobile devices have always had. Is they've never really been able to tap into the core market. Pokemon Go has successfully done it by making with the augmented reality, and it's now going to push it. Yeah, augmented reality. These geotagging games have existed for a while, but not to. I don't think you've had a popular game series or a popular franchise to drive it. The other is that core games that have come onto the mobile, because people will go, what about Hearthstone? What are the Final Fantasy games? Those games have existed on other platforms beforehand, so the core mechanics already exist when they are put onto the mobile device. The other is that it's still more efficient for me to play Hearthstone on my PC than it is on my mobile device, because mobile device can't exactly handle it. The other is that, if I don't have to go out and buy a new PC to go play Hearthstone, whereas my phone can't quite do it. It's dropping my connection a lot, and there's a lot of more. The mechanics are a little bit more finicky. Most of the mobile games I'm going to probably want to play would be something. Maybe I would either, if I'm going to do it on a commute, the DS. I'll do it on the DS. And the fact is I don't use a lot of public transport, because where I live, we don't happen to have very good public transport. But even on the commute, my DS is better. The only time I really want to play a game on my mobile device is perhaps if I'm going to use the bathroom, in which case I'm probably going to go read a comic book, which is much more effective. Uh, but Pokemon Go is like I'm actually having to walk around and do things. It's more engrossing, and it's making me go out. So it's very, very different in its approach. This is, I think, the very first core game. Or people will go, well, why do I consider Candy Crush a core game? To be honest, match threes have never been my thing. I think it's like three match threes I were interested in. Uh, Puzzle Forge, which didn't really engross me that much. Pokemon Shuffle, because hey, Pokemon, and Honey Pop, which I only played because of the humor. Like, this is, I think, the very, very first true core game to come to the mobile market. Maybe that will drive it into a new direction, and now maybe we'll see a new way of doing the mobile market for gaming. Apparently, there's Pokemon Go 1.0.1 update. That's interesting because I don't think everyone's being able to receive that update. I think it's a regional problem. Movie studios are competing for Pokemon rights. To be honest, I don't think anyone's going to get them because Nintendo owns it, and there's been Pokemon movies out for a very, very long time. I mean, I think they're coming up to the 18th one at the end of the year. Maybe the 20th. I'll have to double check that. It's made already over $14 million. Let's face it, this is actually a game I'm thinking I will sink a bit of money into, simply because, like, this is fantastic. It's actually worth doing it. And there isn't a pay-to-win aspect to it, which is great. Twitch is playing Pokemon Go. Yeah, like, that's... oh, jeez, a review says here, Pokemon Go is a bad game, but doesn't matter. Look, it's actually not a bad game. To be honest, I think it's done all the mechanics very, very well, considering it's on a very, very inferior device. Yeah, be careful, there's a Pokemon Go ripoff app. More popular than Tinder. I'm not surprised, I mean, kids are playing it. Yes, trading is apparently going to be added. I think they're going to fix a lot of the problems before they get into the trading aspect of it. Trump's Tower is a Pokemon Go gym, for those of you who happen to be in the NYC. Oh yeah, there's apparently a way of getting Pikachu as a starter. To be honest, at the moment I've had more trouble finding Charmanders, but that might be my location. That's probably all really worth mentioning at the moment. For those of you playing Pokemon Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire or Pokemon X and Y, until the 24th of July, you will be able to receive Shaman via the internet. Mystery gift via the internet. For those you who are still interested, Arceus will be available in August. I'll have to confirm this, but it looks like it will be available via code at GameStop based retailers. September it will be Victini over the internet. October will be Caldio again over the internet, and November will be Genesect at GameStop retailers, and finally in December Malaweta via the internet. I'll keep you posted and updated on those as much as I can. That is it for this week's episode of Pokemon Go Adventures. Like, dislike, subscribe, whatever. I'll catch you guys later.